think it's still more. No, it's afternoon. We're in Miami, Florida. Hope your kid's doing all right. Because, it's always good to be doing good. Yeah, we're in friggin' Miami. We hauled a load of like coffee creamers and stuff like that. Yeah, Mike Ball just finished his show. It was a pretty good one, showing off the news. The one that got me was Venezuela. Like Venezuela had one hell of an earthquake. I think they had two in a row. It was like a 7.1. I've only felt an earthquake that strong once before in my life. And that was the Landers earthquake in California. I want to say that was like 1993 or 1994. We're going to clean the lens because I'm not good at proper housekeeping. That's why you're seeing laundry. My laundry bag's upstairs. It's really hot in Florida right now. Imagine that. And I'm hiding in the back. I got my air conditioning blowing towards me, sort of. But it's really hot down here. It's going to take a while to get unloaded. Mike Ball says, I'm doing great. Yeah, we've got a poll. If kids want to vote on doing good, say yes or no. Mike Ball says, yeah, man, it was incredibly sad. 7.1 and that's 7.5. Earthquakes, and I learned from growing up in California and seeing, what earthquakes can do to society up close. That's why they spent so much money on earthquake remediation and stuff like that, trying to make things, you'll never make anything earthquake proof, but earthquake resistant. You don't want the walls to blow out or anything like that, and that's what causes high-rise buildings to collapse. And Venezuela doesn't have much for building codes or anything like that. But yeah, hope kids doing okay. We're just gonna sit here. I figured if I went live, they'll unload the trailer faster. I don't know. They might be in the warehouse watching the live, being like, "Look at this guy suffer with his water and his air conditioning." I need to stock up my fridge. I don't have a whole lot left in there. I just got some cold waters, and it would be nice to maybe stock up the fridge a little bit, but I'm kind of in a weird. I'm getting really close to home time, so I really don't want to stock up the fridge and then have to worry about it when the truck's parked or if I'm parked. Mike Ball says, no doubt in Cali it's normal to stop what you're doing and ask yourself, is that an earthquake? That's true. We've got a great question down there, and don't hesitate to hit the question there. Balar Mishvakarwar. I'm terrible with names. Please forgive me. Why two-stroke Detroit diesel engines not used in modern trucks? Because of the smog. America, we've tried to clean up the air, so the two-stroke diesel runs very rich, and it's too difficult to clean the exhaust that comes out of a two-stroke. That's why you don't see it too much. Well, you don't see it at all in over-the-road trucks anymore. But it was an engine that could run 1,000,000 miles as long as you kept adding oil to it. You never had to change the oil in a Detroit. You just keep adding more oil to it. Great question. Two-stroke diesels still exist. I think. I'm thinking. I don't think it's in like. I see the super chat. I don't think it's in locomotives, but I know that you can still get a two-stroke diesel in shipping. But those motors run real slow, and they don't need valve trains or anything like that. The less complicated, the better, the longer the motor runs. And by the way, Adam Bennett has dropped a $10 super chat saying he's not doing good. I hope all of you are as miserable as me. You're gay. Thank you. Shannon Thomas is in here too. Good mornings. If you said mornings to me, that means you're probably in the Midwest somewhere. I think it's still morning in the Midwest. We made it down to Miami. I think yesterday or the day before. It was probably yesterday or the day before. I spent the night in Jackson, Georgia. I got there at midnight. Took a half hour to find a parking spot. And then both trucks on either side of me got hit by another truck. Like a guy was trying to turn, hit one truck, and then made another turn and hit the truck next to me. I was sandwiched between two trucks, and both trucks on each side got hit. And the cops showed up, and the tow trucks, and people are screaming and yelling at each other, and I'm just back here in the sleeper. Like, I put on my earmuffs. I got my good headset. I turned on the noise canceling, and I went to sleep angrily. Shannon Thomas Trucking. Oh yeah, I'm just semi-retarded this morning. Good afternoon, skis. Good afternoon, skis. Comrade. Good afternoon, ski. Got 14 people in the house with a couple likes. I need to see some more likes. I see more likes on Adam Bennett's super chat than I do on the show itself. So double tap that screen and give it a like. And don't hesitate to answer that question. Doing good, yes or no? We got Mina in the house saying, Sterling, hello. We're doing good. We got Pepe Gainza says, hello, how is your day? Today's going okay. We made it down to, I didn't have to get to Miami until 11 this morning. I got here a few hours early. We got checked in. We put the trailer in a dock, and they are unloading it very slowly. They don't just unload a trailer and then send you on your way. Like, I do a lot of refrigerated freight, and a lot of these places they take the freight out, they set it in the warehouse, and then they count it and then repalletize it and all that. So sometimes unloading doesn't go very fast, and they want to make sure that all of their product that I brought them is here, because I've got sticky fingers, and if you don't put everything on a pallet, I'm gonna start filling pockets and filling my shirt, but it's just part of the trucking industry. It's why we sit here and wait. I get paid after 2 hours. I start getting an hourly wage. Let's get to some more comments. It's getting out of hand. We've only got 6 likes and 14 people watching. I do not like these odds. Let's get that like button touched. Mina's in here. Pepe, Jody, sweet Jody. Hey, Sterling and friends, good seeing here. Shannon Thomas Trucking, 80-20. Feeling good today. Proper trucking percentage. Yeah, if you look here at the doing good, we're about 80-20. Mina saying hi to sweet Jody. Lady J in the house saying hello all. I like your new shirt, Sterling. Color looks nice on you. I went with a teal, and we're celebrating 80 years at Bluebird. I like my t-shirts. Mina saying hi to Thomas. Is Thomas in here? Let me, I do apologize. I pressed the wrong frickin' button. I was trying to make it to where I can see all the comments. It's not letting me see all the comments. Let's just bomb through whatever comments we got. But yeah, we got a good shirt. Oh, you mean Shannon Thomas, Mina. QQ Bang Bang says hi. Good seeing you here. Balarm, B-A-L-A-R-A-M, Balaram. Do hold night idling of trucks damage engines? Yes. Uh, yes, it does. It didn't used to, but these trucks run so hot in order to keep the smog regulations in, because we don't want to damage the environment anymore, semi trucks. So trucks don't like to idle anymore, and it actually works the motor more to idle, because what'll happen is the DPF filter will clog up, and then it'll go into regen, and then regen, the engine runs super hot, and it heats up the exhaust, and it sprays the diesel exhaust fluid into there, and it really works the truck to idle. Also, it's not good to let an engine run on low oil pressure. So that's part of the reason, in addition to just modern engines aren't designed to idle. Mina saying hi to Lady J. Lady J saying hi. QQ Bang Bang says, do you like Ronaldo? I don't know who Ronaldo is. Camaro, who do you think would win in a knife fight rematch? Carmelo Anthony or Austin Metcalf's father? Oh, sick. Burn. Let's get political. What do you think about that, Sterling? What do you think of the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf? I don't like that his father turned it into a racial thing. And a good father would make sure his son had a knife too, so he can go fuck himself. If you're a good parent, you make sure your kids know how to knife fight. This is America. Ooh, a spicy. But that's how I feel. I don't like that the kid got 35 years in prison for it. That kid's life is completely ruined. He'll be out in 12 years, so it's not a big deal. But right now the media is trying to turn everything into a race issue in order to spur a civil war. And I want to invite everybody to quit paying attention to race war issues, because it doesn't exist. I travel this country, all 50 states. Yes, there's racism, but guess what? Nobody cares, because we need to pay our fucking bills and we need to go to work. And we're tired of our country being taken over by outside influences. So, yeah, that's my opinion of it. A real father would make sure his son had a knife also. Pepe says, look good. Sweet Jody saying hi to Lady J. Nicholas Wadener, hey, how are you doing? We're doing good. We made it to Florida. Mina saying hi to Pepe. Jody, sweet Jody, did I wash the remote again? Pepe saying, oh, I will subscribe to you. I love your stream. Nicholas, good seeing you here. Hope you're doing well. Lady J saying hi to Jody. We got goods and greetings and back. Chasing Ghost says, F everyone, I'm idling, or someone is buying a hotel. Please idle. Tara, Chasing Ghost, her air conditioning went out on her semi-truck. And she's down there in the southern Texas area, which is quite miserable if you don't have I hope you idle your truck. Put a brick on the throttle pedal so it idles with the air conditioning even cooler. I'm not seeing enough like button presses. Jody saying, welcome to Nicholas. Lady J says, price of groceries, gas, and housing is more important than race. Exactly. Balarm, I'm going to try to pronounce your name correctly. I do apologize, my friend. Balar, wait, B-L-A-R, yeah, Balar Ram. I'm just going to call you Senor B. You said idling damages the engine, but running on road with full load for long hours will damage. Idling will damage the motor more because the oil pressure is low, and you need that oil pressure to make a film on all the moving parts of the motor. And when you idle, your oil pressure is like 10 to 15 psi. And that's not enough to make sure that all the metal parts float on a thin layer of oil. Now, when you're running full power, like you're climbing a hill, or just running down the highway 65 miles an hour or what have you, the engine's designed to run at power. It's designed to make power for a long bit of time. It's designed to climb mountains. It's designed to haul 80,000 pounds. That's what the motor's designed to do. And idling is actually considered severe duty. So it's just as bad as driving down a dirt road or always climbing mountains and stuff like that. So that's what I say about that. Thank you for the great question, by the way. You're awesome. Tyrone, Cleveland. Thank you so much, brother. We all need to learn to live together. I think we've already learned to live together, but I think there are forces trying to separate us and make us hate each other, which is sad, because hating is like the easiest emotion to come to. That's why babies cry so easily, because they hate the situation they're in and they can't communicate any other way. So anytime I see hate, I just see gigantic babies. Just gigantic babies. Well-armed and trained babies, but they're babies nonetheless. Chasing ghosts, it's the economy, stupid, said everyone. Mina says super. Ben Tipton, fist bump, safe travels, God bless. We are not traveling yet. We are waiting for this trailer to get unloaded, and they haven't booked me a load in advance yet because this receiver is known for 6-hour unloads, which is fine. I'll get paid 4 hours at almost $30 an hour to just sit here and enjoy the air conditioning. But from Miami, it's hard to say where I'll go. They'll probably deadhead me to Tampa to pick up a load of orange juice, or they'll deadhead, which is drive an empty trailer, to the other side of the state and pick up a load of sugar over there by, where's the sugar capital of Florida, Shannon? I can't remember the name of the town, but it's literally the sugar capital of Florida. The entire town, it's a company town, and all they do is, produce sugar. They've got a great Cuban restaurant there too. But it might be a load of sugar, and they'll get me up on the road. I got plenty of hours. We're doing what's called a split sleeper right now. But yeah, everything's going good. I slept terribly a couple nights ago, and it's taken me 2 days to get my rest. And then now I'm wide awake, hanging out in... we're not in Miami, it's Opelika. Brown Chicken is in the house. Mina's still in the house. Ben Tipton, given a like. Thank you, my friend. Make sure you answer the little question right there. Doing good. We got 78% of the world is doing good. I like those numbers. I'm glad that some of you are doing good. If you're doing bad, let me know why. Brown Chicken's brown chicken. Senor B, in India, we replaced diesel trucks with electric trucks in mining area because electric trucks give huge profit. There's that makes sense because the electric trucks in mining aren't really going that far. There are situations like that in the States that they're using electric trucks, but it's nothing over the road, going down the highway like I do. They are testing the Tesla trucks, but they're not hauling a lot of freight. Like, they don't haul heavy freight at all. Oh, and I've driven a Tesla semi before. They're actually pretty cool. The only thing I don't like about it is you sit in the middle, so both mirrors are blindside backing. The stuff that I do, I always, had to back a trailer into a dock. And in my many, many years of truck driving, I don't like blindside backing. I'm good at it, but I'm slow. And it's better to be slow and good than fast and damage stuff. You'll see the shadows move behind me and stuff because there's people and trucks driving by the front of the truck, and I'm waiting for my paperwork. I want my paperwork, and I want to get out of here, and I want to go to the 595 truck stop and get a Cuban sandwich. They also might call me too, so if I just tap out, please understand that I'm doing the Lord's work. Okay. Big Dan saying, howdy folks, good seeing here. Brown Chicken reminding everyone to have a day. Brown Chicken saying, above ground, doing good. Shannon Thomas, trucking. Position for Gina Davis has been filled at Like Trucking. Driver installed and started yesterday. Good times. I hope your driver's doing good. Thank you to all who applied, and thank you, Sterling, for helping get the word out. Yeah, anything I can do to help. You know that. And I can't thank you enough for being in my life, Shannon. You're good people. I know we've had some times. Oh, but everything's going good. Everything's going great. And like, I'm going places. I've been able to maintain, and I'm going places. Everything will be all right. Carrie's in the house. Rob's neighbor says, yo, grind and pray, KB. Mr. KB. You have been run through the ringer, my friend, with mechanical issues on your truck. And it's impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's difficult to find people that can repair trucks correctly, especially when they're charging large amounts of money and parts are not in order or not on the shelf. And I'm glad that I just make a phone call and this truck gets fixed. Like yesterday, the trailer that I picked up, there was a mud flap missing, and I just drove it to the nearest Pilot, called roadside, and they said, are you at a Pilot? And I said, yep. And I will go in there and tell them what you want. And 17 minutes later, I had a mud flap on the trailer. I signed for it and drove away. Always good seeing you here, KB. Wishing you well, my friend. A very positive voice in the trucking industry, by the way. Whatever happened to Kiersey? She was, I mean, that was the name of her channel, Positive Voice in Trucking. Lady J, with all the experience trucking you have seen in the nation, where are a few places you think people should check out that are not talked about much? Kansas. Indiana, for some reason. A lot of people hate Indiana, but if you want a trucking job and kind of cheap living, Indiana's great. The Oregon coast, and I'm not talking about like up around Astoria, the areas that I like, but the southern Oregon coast, you can have a pretty good life there. The luster for Florida has worn off for me. I'm not a huge fan of Florida anymore. There's too many flock cameras, and Florida is quickly turning into a Republican hellhole. And I just don't enjoy it here anymore. Senora B. Balaram. Indian government mixing isobutanol and diesel fuel and increased price of fuel. That's why we removed maximum amount of diesel trucks and place electric trucks there. That's interesting. Yeah. So what they're trying to do is kind of what we did here in the States in 2007. We went to low sulfur diesel, ultra low sulfur diesel, which was a European standard. That's why diesels in Europe didn't pollute as much. So we brought that here to the States thinking the United States won't be so polluted, which it did help. Like, there wasn't much for smog in like the big cities once they switched over to ultra low sulfur diesel and started making these trucks run leaner. Like, I've seen it in my lifetime. I'm convinced you could probably let a truck idle in an enclosed garage and nobody would pass out. At least on the brand new trucks. Anything a couple years old and it starts getting kind of... Every once in a while you'll see a truck, or you're driving with the windows down and you'll smell a truck that's running too rich because it needs to be fixed. SST says, I've been better, and said hi. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Big Dan says, doing good. Got corn cultivated, only broke it twice. Beat the rain that could have prevented get it done. Eating a rare rib steak right now. Oh, steak. I stopped and had Steak and Shake yesterday. It's not the same. It's not the same. There's a Steak and Shake at the Pilot in Tifton, Georgia. Brand new Pilot. Well, renovated Pilot. And I had some fast food nummies. They don't have menus there anymore. You're supposed to walk up and press the numbers on the friggin' kiosk. And it sucks. I want to walk up to somebody, look at a menu. I want to be greeted. I don't want to sit there and mess with a stupid screen. And by the way, do you think I've used enough public restrooms to realize how many people actually wash their hands? You would never in a million years want to touch a kiosk. Patrick's in the house. Sorry for your loss, SST. SST, get him thanks. Chasing Ghosts. Florida cops think they're still cocaine cowboys. That's true. My name is Nobody. Hello, Sterling in chat. Always good seeing you here, my friend. Balaram. Sir, do trucks business profitable in America? Yes. But it depends on your customers, of course. They're still making a profit selling trucks. Like the truck that I'm in right now, if you were to buy this truck brand new, it would be $180,000. The trailer's $110,000. So, you know, Kenworth is making money and Great Dane's making money, or whoever made that trailer is probably Hyundai. There's the thing you need to know about America is that money is always moving. It's going up hills and it's going down hills and it's going under tables money is always moving in America, and that's why America seems so... I think my paperwork's here. That's why America seems so great, because we keep our money moving. The second money stagnates, the second that money stagnates, that's when we get depressions, recessions, instability in the market. The last 20 years, they've discovered that as long as they keep everyone on edge, and the price of milk goes up and the price of milk goes down, the price of fuel goes up, the price of fuel goes down, and the price of food goes up, the price of food goes down. As long as there's instability and there's always money moving in the stream and taking, you know, just like water in a stream takes the path of least resistance. That's what happens with money. And they've understood that inflation and deflation, and that's just the way the market works. There's no stopping it. But when all that money stops moving, like what happened in 2008, that's when everything went sideways, and that's when the government had to step in and correct. And Jared says, can I donate $100? You can donate $499. But trucks are still profitable business, but you have to know your numbers and you have to be proactive. Nobody's getting rich. They're more or less maintaining. And that's the name of the game in the trucking industry, is you've got to ride the market. The market's just like the ocean, just like the tide in the ocean. Talk to any of your commercial fishermen. You know, they wait for the tide and then they go fishing and they come back for the tide rolls in, or the other way around. I'm not a fisherman, so I can't tell you. America Uncensored, haven't seen you around the channel in a while. Hope you're doing well. SST, for what it's worth, my brother's in Minnesota and wants to move to Florida. 10 years, 10 months, winter's broken him. I can't take the heat anymore. I caught heat exhaustion a couple days ago, and it really messed me up. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've always got the air conditioning running. I can tolerate the cold, and where I'm going, I'm going to put myself in a position where I think I'll be all right to weather the storm. And I've been trucking a little bit too long, and it's not serving me very well right now. Like, my health is declining in a way that I'm not comfortable with. I sacrificed a little bit too much of my life to do this stuff. I work 7 days a week, and since January, I've had 2 days off. And it's getting to me. I'm working just a little bit too hard. Thank God tonight's payday. Grind and pray. KB. Indeed, all this humanless, touchless sucks. I can't stand it. Jared, can I donate $100? Go for it. Feeling generous. American Uncensored. Jared, you can donate as much as you want, I'm guessing. Anyway, yeah, donate whatever you want. It's fine. Just understand that all donations go towards debauchery on this channel. Oliver Bim. Is that how you said it? Bim or Bim? Hello, how's your day? We're doing good. We're doing very good. Good seeing here. Thank you for hitting the like button on the way in. Shannon says She Rides, a Danzig song. I like that Shannon knows who Danzig is. And I will one-up you and say Devo. Whip it. Now it's in your head. You can't get it out. Now you're gonna be playing Devo all day. Did you know that Devo is an acronym for de-evolution? Oliver, hi sir. Great to see you. Balaram. Okay, sir. Nice conversation. I will appreciate. Good. Always good to see you in here. Say hi to India for me. Do. See ya, Senor B. Balaram. Shannon Thomas Trucking. Whip It is my all-time favorite song. It's the beat. It's that 16ths on the highs. It's funny how many people don't like Devo. And those people need a free cruise ship ride, and then we need to just send one lonely torpedo. Grind and Pray. KB. Shannon Thomas saying, hey, you guys met each other and swapped trailers. I know all the secrets. It's always good that, so Shannon Thomas and KB work for Like Trucking. And they've got a good crew over there. They help each other out. They've got an excellent support system. Mikey Ball says, I've seen Devo 3. Really? That's awesome. Mike Ball is he's a bit of a musician. He played in a punk band, I think. That's amazing. I'm waiting for the dude to bring me my papers for my trailer. And I want to get out of here. Yeah, Shannon, Mike Ball wins. Yeah, seeing Devo 3 times. Mike Ball's from Southern California. Oh, I want to ask everybody in here. Let me get rid of the... I have an important question to ask everybody in here, especially my California people. Yeah, KB, hurry up and wait, game. We are going to ask a question. And if somebody walks up to my truck, I'm just going to bounce right on out of here because I got places to go. Okay, we're giving you a question, and we got to do it in green. Right? Now, let me put it in a place where it doesn't get in my way. So, a couple days ago, a new Sublime record dropped, and it is pretty good. It is pretty good. I grew up listening to Sublime. My two favorite bands are Sublime and Smashing Pumpkins, so like surf rock and goth. The new album's pretty good. His son sings so much like his dad. There's been a lot of... This is the fourth version of Sublime that they're currently on, and I think they're going to get it right. It's the new album's pretty good. I listened to it on the way down here to Miami, and it got me through traffic. Shannon Thomas, in my opinion, it is the anthem of happiness in life. Whip It by Devo. Road Kings in the house, dropping the Poverty Glide, my 1980 Goldwing that I sacrificed in a horrific relationship accident. America Uncensored saying hi to Mike and Rhodey. Shannon Thomas says Mike Ball wins. Big Dan says Mike Ball legendary status unlocked completely. Grind and Pray, hurry up and wait game. It is, yeah. It is. I don't like it, but it's what I signed up for. Let's get some more likes in here. Mike Ball says, y'all are legends. Most of us are. I don't consider myself a legend. I'm a deity. Road King saying Pepper. Pepper's a great band. Shannon Thomas says, in my opinion, Whip It is the anthem of happiness in life. America Uncensored, great reminder. I've been meaning to check out their new album. Mike Ball says, I have not heard the new Sublime record. It reminded me so much of 40 Ounces to Freedom, and I mean, it's literally Sublime. There's no doubt that it is Sublime this time, and it's not Sublime with Rome, and it's not Long Beach Dub All Stars, and it's not Dub Cat, and it's not Long Beach Short Bus, and it's not, you know, all the different iterations of Sublime. It's definitely not Slightly Stupid. It's not Stick Figure. Sublime still has their sound, and you know, his uncles. You know, we got Bud Gaw on the drums, and we got Eric Wilson on bass. The last song, they actually did another version of Thanks Dub, which Thanks Dub instrumental is like my favorite jam. I could listen to that song 100 times in a row and never get sick of it. Just listening to Sublime jam on an instrumental dub. But on the album that they released to the public, I think it was 40 Ounces of Freedom, the last song on there was Thanks. And it's just the band and then Bradley thanking everybody he could think of. But yeah, it's a good album. It's a good album. It's not great, but the new Sublime record is good. According to the votes, we need some more likes, by the way. We got 11 people watching, 19 likes. Have you heard the new Sublime record? 14% of you have said yes. That's good. I like those odds. 86% of you say no. That's fine. Only 7 votes. Give it a listen. Weekend at Benner's. Good seeing here. I saw you yesterday on Schmokies. You got a good channel, by the way, and I appreciate you bouncing around my channel. Weekend at Benner's says, huge Pumpkins fan. Good times. Grind and Pray, KB, Sublime rocks. Oh, a fellow Sublime. I turned you on to Karangbin recently. Desert Outlaw, Miami, Florida, or Miami, Arizona? I'm in Miami, Florida right now. Desert Outlaw, Miami, Arizona is a shithole. No, it's not. It's a copper mine. It's a gigantic hole in the earth shaped like a butthole that they pull copper out of. But I've got a video on Miami, Arizona. That was years ago, 4 years ago. America Uncensored says, despite all my rage, I'm still just a surfer whipping it good. Good times. Everyone saying hi to each other. Mike Ball says, that's great news, actually. Yeah, the band's very tight. There's no real shitty songs on the record at all. It's all good listening. There's no real, like, good bangers. I don't think any of it's going to make airplay. There might be 2 songs that are going to make airplay. But, I mean, this is a new effort. That band's only 2 years old. 2 or 3 years old. And by the time that we got Sublime albums, they were a band for almost 10 years. Chasing Ghost, Tara. What's worse, negative 20 in a Porta-John or 100 degrees in a Porta-Can, or the toilet paper is wet? I can't stand. That's part of the reason why I don't do flatbed anymore, as you would have to use a Porta-John quite a bit. I remember one time I got to a shipper and receiver. Well, a receiver. I was delivering building supplies. And I called ahead and they said, yeah, you can park on the site, just don't get in the way of the front gate. And here's the code to the gate. And I was like, cool, I get to park behind a locked gate? And he's like, yeah, just don't block the gate so we can get in. And they had a Porta-John there, and I went in there to take care of some horrific business. We were firing on both cylinders, is what I'm trying to tell you. And as I was wiping, I glanced up at the ceiling, and there was a wasp nest about as big as my head, and it was just smiling at me. And so I pulled the rest of the toilet paper off the roll and stumbled out with my pants around my ankles and wiped my ass in the bushes like a man. A screaming, crying, grown man. Thank God they didn't have any security cameras on that job site, because I thank God I'd already crapped myself, like, into the toilet. But yeah, that was the scariest moment I'd ever. I've seen horrible accidents. I've had oncoming drivers. I've seen plane crashes. I've just. But to look up and see the face of God and a hornet's nest inside a Porta-John, and the Porta-John, like, was kind of low on the liquid level, so there's a bit of a splash. Welcome to trucking, kids. KB, Sterling, be easy. Sterling, be easy. Safe travels, brother. I'm going to catch some rest. Get some sleep. Tara says, chasing ghosts, the Porta-Can is the issue. It is. Big Dan says, going to do a live show tonight. Going to a live show tonight. 75-seat social club. Haley Jane solo without her band, taking a role in May 30 years ago. Came from Michelle Beale. And good times. Weekend at Benner's. Thanks. Still pretty new. Good seeing you. Chasing Ghost. I sat down in one and unlocked a new nightmare. Wondered why the seat was buzzing. Giant wasp nested. On the inside. Oh. The things we do in the trucking industry. This is what we do to save America. Thank you for voting on the poll, by the way. Weekend at Benner's. I've been toying with the idea of going OTR, but never have, so probably won't. If you get in with a big company, you know, if, like, you can't get on with my company unless you've had 6 months to a year experience. My company treats me absolutely fantastic, and if you're okay with OTR and just doing your thing, it seems like a pretty great company. I'm not going to do any advertising for them until after I leave. We don't have driver-facing cameras. That's the only reason I'm in a truck right now. America Uncensored says that's horrible. Desert Outlaw says with Melton, no, Bluebird. Got 14 people in the house. I want to thank you for stopping by, checking me out. We're just doing a live, waiting for paperwork for my friggin' trailer because I want to get out of here. I don't want to live in Miami. This place sucks. The traffic stinks. The people are awful. I've never been cut off more in my life. And trust me, if I had my own truck, I would have done a minimum of 3 pit maneuvers today and just kept right on driving. Good to see everybody in here. We're going to wind this down because I'm getting tired of talking with my damn face hole. And I don't have any more people commenting. Where's the comments? I want to lay down in the air conditioning. It's getting way too hot. Desert Outlaw, are you coming up the Atlantic side when you leave? I won't know until later. I'm kind of locked down where I'm at right now. My hours are kind of low too, so more than likely, I will go to the 595 truck stop, which I'll have to pay for a parking spot and pay for a Cuban sandwich at that restaurant. They've got a tiki bar there too. I'm not going to say what I do there. That was the truck stop that Alex Mai used to do his shows from. And that's where I met him years ago. He's a good dude. Carrie says, I'm currently driving but listening. Good seeing you here, Carrie. Shannon, Elizabeth, Thomas Trucking. Loaded now in Kentucky. Headed back to Ohio. Mike Ball says, I'm eating my bacon-wrapped chicken skewers right now. That is fantastic. I used to make those on the Traeger. And, bacon-wrapped chicken, bacon-wrapped pork. You know, cut under friggin' pork tenderloins. Yeah. Mike's got me hungry now. I'm going to blame Mike. Carrie's in the house says, Rob's neighbor. I hope everyone is having a good day. Everyone's doing really good. America Uncensored. Saying hi to Carrie. Big Dan, mother trucker. Alex is a good dude. He is. Chasing Ghost says the tiki bar makes good steaks. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm gonna have I'll have a Cuban sandwich for lunch and a friggin' steak for dinner. Desert Outlaw says I made birria tacos. Those skewers sound good with cheese dip. I would agree with that. We've got Weekend at Benner's. There's a local place that goes various places and always drive their trucks without trailers, considering them. The Brandon Bruce. Good afternoon, Mr. Walmart over there. You're too good to do live streams anymore. You got yourself a Walmart gig. I hope you're doing well, my friend. We're doing okay where I'm at. And eventually, I will pry myself out of this padded room. I've given myself a maximum of 60 days to change my life. And the timer's already ticking. I've been in the industry long enough. I'm not appreciated. And it would be better if this cowboy just walked off into the sunset. Shannon Thomas Trucking, 5 best reasons to go OT. How dare you force me to be positive? Oh, Jesus. Shannon. I wanted to be negative. That's why I was trying to get out of my damn show, because I want to complain. Look, I'm a white guy complaining on the internet. Subscribe to my channel. There's enough people complaining, so let's stop complaining about people complaining. 5 best reasons to go to OTR. Number 1, you get to see the country that you reside in, and you realize that America is much smaller. Is much smaller. than anyone can describe to you, anyone can tell you on the news. Number two, you get to pretend to be your own boss. Like you get to work under minimal supervision. Number three, you get to drive big friggin' trucks. And these trucks nowadays are RVs. There's no skill needed to drive these trucks anymore. Number four, the money. First 6 months, you ain't gonna make any money. First year, you're gonna start making money. 2 to 3 years into it, you could ride that out the rest of your career. And number five, the fifth reason, best reason to get into trucking. You'll either love to hate it or hate to love it. Yeah. 5 best reasons to go OTR. I kind of mix that in with trucking in general. But it's hard to get into any trucking jobs without immediately going OTR. They want to throw you to the wolves to see if you can survive. And if you can survive OTR, then you can get on with Walmart. Then you can get on with Kroger. Then you can get on with LTL Freight and make real money. Then you could get on with Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I wouldn't suggest Pepsi because they had laid off, 7,000 drivers? I think it was 700. Weekend at Benner's. Birria, is it Birria? Does it rhyme with diarrhea? If you don't cook it right enough? It's pretty good stuff. It is very good. SST says, relax, bets are we don't make it out of this decade. They've been saying that for 30 years. I grew up in the time of killer bees and ozone, holes in the ozone, and we're going to run out of water. California's going to run out of water. Las Vegas is going to run out of water. I've been told, listen, the end of the Mayan calendar was May 21st, 2012. The end of the world was on my 32nd birthday. Everyone was supposed to die. And we survived. We survived the year 2000. We survived 9/11. We survived the sweet and sour sniffles. Welcome to America. Hello, fellow cockroaches and alligators. Brandon Bruce is laughing. Mr. Walmart over there. Weekend at Benner's. There's Walmart too, but I guess they'd have to have experience. Yeah, you can get on with Walmart, but you have to have 36 months experience. Mike Ball's laughing out loud. Weekend at Benner's laughing. Insane Wheels. Some people love the nomad life. It's a love and hate relationship with me. I like that nobody can bother me. I've always been, I don't make friends very well. I've always been kind of a wallflower. And my mom told me many, many years ago that I'm like a cat on top of the refrigerator. Just leave them alone. And that's how I live. I live a quiet life. Every time that I've mentioned anything about my personal life on a live stream or in my YouTube channel, it gets used against me. Shout out to Jason Rules. I hope your cancer diagnosis goes awful. Testicular and anal cancer. And since he lives in Canada, I know he's not going to get treatment. What was I talking about? Trolls. Chasing Ghost. Catch you later. Gotta unload. America Uncensored. We went from killer bees to murder hornets. Did anyone die? No. Lady J, hairspray was poking holes in the firmament. Yeah. Lady J says global cooling. That's what it was. It was supposed to be global. And I'm friggin' hot. It's like 102 degrees where I'm at right now. We're sitting in a cement parking lot waiting to get loaded facing the sun. So outside the truck is like 200 degrees. I don't want to turn the key and find out. We got so loud. Always good to see in here. Sterling, good afternoon to you and the brothers and sisters. Much respect from the boondocks of North Crackalacky. Mike Ball saying, shit. Lady J says, school desks protect against nuclear bombs. That's funny. I remember hiding underneath my desk for earthquakes. Top Gate. You got to drop a super chat for me to shout you out. Insane saying hi to So Loud. So Loud saying hi to Mike. Shout outs have to come with the super chat. Thank you for 20 likes on this live stream. We've already got a $10 super chat. Thanks to Adam Bennett. Super chats, all money on this channel. Super chats, cash apps, all that good stuff goes straight to debauchery this year. And I'll let you know what the debauchery. It's going to be very debaucherous, and you will have to watch it on my OnlyFans channel. That's how debaucherous it's going to. Mike Ball's reminding, money now, money me, need a money, needing now. Weekend at Benner says, yes, they died, got stung and died of COVID. It's so crazy how effective a little bit of propaganda and fear was. And all of America got crate trained. It's hard to have faith in the system anymore. I don't have any faith in the system whatsoever. I've gone full anarchist. If you tuned in earlier to the show when somebody asked about Carmelo Anthony and the other dude, I said it's shitty parenting on both sides. It was shitty parenting to teach your kid to bring a knife when he's 17 years old to a track meet, and it's shitty parenting that your kid didn't have a knife at a track meet. I believe everyone should be armed. Everyone should be armed. It's America. And when you're old enough to have a gun, you should have a gun. And I think teachers should be armed too. Just not the female ones. So Loud saying hi to Uncensored. Mike Ball reminding everybody to drop super chats. Desert Outlaw. Me needing a lot now. Me a money. Needing a lot now. Mike Ball with a $499 super chat saying, don't be gay, people. Why are you gay? You are gay. If you've ever watched the entire show that meme came from, it was quite interesting. It's a bit of a long watch. It's like 40 minutes. Big Dan, who's going to a show tonight. We had nuclear drills in school. 3 nuke plants. The alcoholic parents building the plants we were more scared of. Yeah, you don't have to worry. It was just like Fukushima. Who puts diesel generators below the sea level? Japan. You know how to build a friggin' nuclear plant? Come on now. And then tsunami wiped out all the backup power generators for the plant. How stupid. Reminds me of that Weird Al movie, UHF, where there was a wheel of fish. And if you didn't win, you're so stupid. That's what I feel about Japan and their nuclear power plants. Desert Outlaws reminding us with knives. I'd rather be caught with it than without. Image Church, I've seen you in here before. Greetings from Uganda, Africa. Always good to see Uganda in the house. Mike Ball, reminding everyone to not be gay. Mike Ball says, I have watched the entire interview from that guy. It's good. Reminds me of, who's that? Mike Ball, you know who I'm thinking about. It's that black dude in Southern California. What the? He says, what the? What's his name? I can picture his face. But he's known for his spicy views. And he's like 80 years old. Lady J, peaceful anarchy, a state of disorder due to an absence of non-recognition authority and other controlling systems, but peaceful. Yeah, peaceful anarchy, as long as everyone's armed to the hilt. So Loud dropping a $499 super chat, trying to chase Mike Ball down, trying to get Mike Ball off the top of the. Actually, both of you have barely touched what Adam Bennett has sent in. Reminding everybody to embrace your fuck ups every day. Jesse Lee Peterson, son of a bitch. Thank you, Mike Ball. Mike Ball for the win. Mike Ball's reminding us that So Loud has reminded us to embrace our fuck-ups every day. Every day, embrace your fuck-ups. Every day you will fuck up. And that is okay. Jesse Lee Peterson. Big Dan says, thankfully, here in the United States, we surround all of our freshwater drinking water lakes with nuke plants and store the waste next to it. California still has a nuke plant over there by Pismo. I think Mike has seen it in his travels. When he's out there being a ship captain, when he's out there like Mickey Mouse, when Mike was playing Steamboat Willie out on the Pacific Ocean, he probably saw the nuclear plant just outside of Avila Beach. Mike Ball says, I look forward to my future fuck-ups. Yeah, and they're necessary. They really are. Like, I'm present for a fuck-up right now. Like, this trailer should be unloaded. I should have my paperwork, and I should be on the road going places. But I think I'm going to wind up living in Miami. Bienvenido, Miami. If I get trapped here, I'm gonna rent a Lamborghini. Let's see some more super chats. Last time I rented a Lamborghini, it was $1,000. Let's see some hardcore super chats. Lady J's in the house, dropping my Volkswagen, my '67 Volkswagen, little emoticon. He's down there, and also reminding us to have a day. It's funny how I was trying to back out of the show. I was like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. Let's put it to a poll. Let's say this again. If Shannon Thomas is listening, hey Dee Dee, hi Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. Hey, puppy. Dee Dee. Come on. Dee Dee. Come on. Dee Dee's the name of Shannon's dog, by the way. This is a serious vote. I want you kids to be truthful. I'm going to leave. Mike Ball says it builds character. Yeah, to live next to a nuclear power plant. Listen, if you live next to a nuclear power plant, every time you have to pee, you don't have to turn the light on. The serious question that has been posed. I'm going to leave. 80% of you say no. But some of you might know me a little bit too well, and I'm uncomfortable with this. I should really take my shirt off and just make it even more uncomfortable for you. Just sitting here watching a naked guy in a semi-truck. So Loud says, Duke Power has a nuclear power plant down here in the boondocks. We've got Lady J in the house trying to bring on debauchery with a $10 super chat. Hey now, we're only, let's see, the last time I rented a Lamborghini, it was in Vegas. I don't know how much they are here in Miami. I could probably get one for 6 hours for $800. If any of you got the internet, try to find me a Lamborghini. Mike Ball says, Major W. Desert Outlaw says, a $1 million quote-unquote super chat. There's more where that came from. You can't drop $1 million super chat. I don't want to buy a Lamborghini. I just want to rent one. Moto Bomber Virginia says, heck yeah, still alive. We're always alive. You know how many times people have tried to kill me? You know how many times I've been cut off in traffic and almost died? You know how many times I've eaten questionable food and prayed for death. You know how many times I've crossed the street without looking in either direction? You know how many times I've seen an airplane dip his wings at me, and then on the dashboard my radar will let me know if the target's locked? You know how many times I've been in the sights of an A-10 Warthog? You know how many times I've had 10 pounds of gummy bears in one sitting? Did Sterling see that super chat? We got Lady J with a $10. Did I miss a super chat? We got So Loud with Embrace Your Fuck Ups. We got Mike Ball with Don't Be Gay. And Adam Bennett was the first super chat, as always. Way at the top. Way at the top. Adam Bennett says, I'm not doing good. I hope all of you are as miserable as me. You're gay. We're up to $29 of super chats. Kids are doing good. I appreciate it. Like I said, all super chats, all the money on my channel goes straight to debauchery. We got a Motobomb. America Uncensored says hi to Motobomb. I saw this. I saw the super chat. Desert Outlaw says the average is $1,200 for the day with deposit. Fuck. The company that I used to rent in Vegas, they used to give me a good deal, but they don't have an outfit in Miami. I can't blow money. Question of the hour: am I gonna leave? The answer is 33% yes, 67% no. Motobomb Virginia with a $10 super chat. Thank you, kind sir. Much love your way. Have a bottled water with this gift. Yeah, a $10 bottled water. I get 2 of these for $5. I don't know if I have any more water in my fridge. And I looked at my fridge and the lid was popped open a little bit. Damn you, Sterling. Don't you know how to be a housewife? Not in my own fucking semi-truck. We're peeking in my fridge. What are you doing? Are you still here? Hello? The like button is lonely. So is the super chat button. Get on it. Listen, I would never, ever tell someone to drop a super chat out of anger. I want you to do it out of love, or I'll fucking kill you. Oh. Watch my watch counter go down because I used the K word. Don't you miss the days when you could say words and those words meant something and people respected those words? And then all of a sudden words could hurt people. Whatever happened to Nana Nana Boo Boo, my words can't hurt you. Whatever happened to Sticks and Stones may break my bones. Sticks and stones. So Christians and Muslims. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Whatever happened to that? They should have taught that in the schools. I am going to eat cheese. And wait for a super chat. Hey, look, I'm one of those Filipino girls that eats on a live stream. And then after that, I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to lay down and make sure my bare tootsies. And you see the wrinkle in my feet, bottom of my feet. And everyone in India is like, hello, my wife. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a 12-hour live stream. You're just going to watch me sleep. And then after that, I'm going to dance. Thank you for the super chat. Moto Bomber, Virginia. Mike Ball says, let's go, Moto. Desert Outlaw says, seems kind of taxed. Lady J spotted me with bottled water from Italy. I got that from Outback Steakhouse. I had Tuscany bottled water from an Outback Steakhouse, and it was splendid. Motobomb Virginia saying hi to everybody. Weekend at Benner says there's a couple for 800. Mike Ball, I have become so frugal in my 30s with my money. I hate spending money. I need to learn from you, my friend. I'm a little bit too generous. You understand. Lady J, hi Desert Outlaw. Good day. Desert Outlaw saying hi to Motobomb. Motobomb Virginia says, I try to super chat peeps that do the same, so it's really not spending, Mike. Yeah, a lot of times I'm kind of equal with my super chatting. People that support my channel, people that blow up my channel. It's good times. I really want the papers for my trailer. It should be unloaded by now. American Uncensored say, I'm a bit historically frugal. I'd like to spend your money instead of mine. Oh, sick bar. Shannon Thomas. Cheese is good for us. Hey, Shannon. Where's your doggy? Dee Dee. Here, Dee Dee. Dee Dee. Look at the camera. Dee Dee. You gotta bark. You gotta go. Arr! Dee Dee. Here, Dee Dee. Oh, another funny thing to do to truck drivers when they're in their truck. Hey, Garmin, navigate to Lion's Den Adult Theater. That's always good. What's the other one? Garmin. What's the other? It's like, what's the other navigation that kids are using nowadays in their semi trucks? I won't say the G word because it'll fuck up my phone. But yeah, I like my Havarti. I got my Havarti cheese. It's good stuff. I got some brats in there too. And I got my air fryer right there, but I am not going to cook anything in this truck when it's 200 degrees outside. We got Motobomb Virginia. Put a comment underneath Mike Balls. We got Mike Balls saying not responding to Unimoto, is responding to Sterling. I also sent Sterling a super chat. We're up to $39.98. I could do some debauchery. Oh, you kids have paid for. You've definitely paid for a Cuban sandwich at that truck stop if I can get over there. Like, it'll be a good meal. It'll be like $17, $15. Today's economy, it could be, well, $15 is the new 27. Let's get me up into steak territory. Huh? Look at me e-begging on payday too. Oh, somebody dropped a $500 super chat last week. It was a €500 super chat. It was amazing. I didn't realize that the euro sign was like that weird C with the lines in it. A weird C with lines in it. Is that a stripper that has had a cesarean section? An angry stripper with lines in it? A weird C with lines in it. Oh my God. Motobomber and you. Tony Cranley, how are you doing? We are doing well. We're snacking on some cheese. We got some Havarti. And it's delightful. I am a cheese aficionado. And a lot of you serve your cheese too cold. It's supposed to be a little bit higher than room temperature. Or a little bit less than room temperature. If your kitchen's 65 degrees, your cheese should be about 58 to 60. I'm a snob like that. We're doing very well, Tony Cranley. I hope you're doing well as well. Welcome to Miami, Florida. If you got any questions, let me know. I got all the answers. Lady J, a mukbang superstar. Oh, shit. Mikey Ball has brought the super chat total up to $59.97. He must be super chatting from a iPhone, because you can't do whole numbers on iPhone. You're going to do it on Android. Thank you. Dude, I will, and you will get the pictures, by the way, because I know Mike, his Instagram is Millennial Food Time, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I will donate my pictures to you, dear friend. Dear friend of the channel. Dear friend of the show, Mike Ball. Any of you watch Tim Dillon? I'll get a steak tonight. If I have the opportunity, I'll get a steak. And it's payday. Motobomb Virginia, you are very generous, Sterling Wheel, with your whole community. Props. I got lost in the comments. I get lost all the time. Lady J says, a mukbang superstar that does OnlyFans feet videos, you would be a rich trucker man. Who says I'm not rich already? I'm just trying to get wealthy. I'm really glad none of you have found my OnlyFans channel. It would be quite embarrassing. You wouldn't look at me straight in the eyes anymore. Insane Wheels. I do understand. You support the community in a way that very few do. I know, speak for anyone that Sterling supports. We appreciate it. Of course. Yeah, any of you that hang around Mike Ball's channel, you will receive a gifted membership. I guarantee it. Between me, Virginia Chaos, So Loud, Al Patterson. I know that guy. I've met Al Patterson in person. Shannon Thomas says she's looking around confused. Poor Dee Dee. Poor Dee Dee. She's such a sweet girl. Poor Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee. She's over there like, huh? Dee Dee. Where are you going, puppy? Where are we going? Dee Dee, let's get going. That's too funny. What was I talking about? I get distracted by animals. Motobomb saying that Insane Wheels. I was just saying. Oh, you kids talking about support. But yeah, Mike Ball, I gave your super chat a friggin' heart. You can keep voting on the whether or not I'm gonna leave. That was a super chat that will guarantee me a steak dinner. Since you bought me a steak dinner, I'll leave a tip. I'll be like, listen, you need to wear a lower cut shirt, madam. And then I'll walk out. Excuse me, madam, you need to dress sluttier when serving me a steak. And my name is Adam Bennett. I'll show you something. Since Lady J put down the word Abbeyland. Weekend at Benner's. Good seeing you here, my friend. Abbeyland. If you have an empty refrigerator and you say Abbeyland 3 times in a row, the Abbeyland ferry will drop you some smoked bratwurst. Best in the nation. And if you're really good, you'll get the brats that have the cheeses in them. Always pray to Jesus. Jesus is a good man. Just don't let him hang around the Jews. Abbeyland. I love Abbeyland. Favorite truck stop in the United States. Motobomb Virginia has dropped emoticons. That's, if you're a member of the channel, you get all those emoticons to throw in at friggin' random. Mike Ball says, my Instagram is Ball Valve TV, but I do segments on my stories of my food that I call Millennial Food Time. If I get a chance to stake it up tonight, which the longer I stay here, I need to start looking for apartments. Can one of you look for apartments in Miami? 2-bedroom with a garage. $6,000 a month. Good seeing you here, Mike Ball. I'll share pictures of my steaks if I get a steak. Motobomb Virginia says, I wish I could go to war with you, Insane Wheels, but I need to work harder. Yeah, work harder so you can drop more super chats. That's how you become my friend. I wonder how Dee Dee's doing. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, puppy. Dee Dee. Hey, Garmin. Navigate to Costco. Desert Outlaw says, we'll scream at the cashier if the can is priced too high, then buy $1 million condo just to... Right. We can have better squirrel attack. I always suffer from squirrels. I saw a lot of squirrels today, too. I'm anxious looking out my window, peering out my window, hoping that somebody will bring paperwork that releases me upon society. I'm currently housed in a maximum security prison. I'm waiting for proof of my innocence so I can leave and join society, so I can go out and gen pop. The cheese was good. The cheese was fantastic. I was starting to get the appetites. Mike Ball says, Al Patterson is epic. So I met him years ago. Didn't even realize it. He works at the Copper Top Barbecue in Lone Big Pine, California. One of my favorite barbecue joints in all of America. I used to stop there and talk to the old cowboy that ran the place, that started the place. And would park my FedEx truck right there out there in front and get myself a pound of tri-tip. And I'd even bring some home. Oh, God, they make some great barbecue. And their sauces are great. Great restaurant. Look it up on the internet. Copper Top Barbecue, Big Pine, California. You might even see a picture of Al Patterson because he runs, he spins the ones and twos. He's up there going, Now, he runs the smokers. He's out there cooking. And he's the one wearing a cowboy hat. And I have talked to him a couple times and didn't even realize. We crossed paths and didn't even realize the royalty between us. Mike Ball saying, so is Virginia Chaos. Good people, right? Motobomb Virginia dropping more of the emoticons. Insane Wheels Mike says, yeah, listen, the tip I'm going to leave tonight, I'm going to be like, excuse me, madam, are you a single mother? And she'll be like, yes. And I'll be like, try harder. Desert Outlaw says, that's a tip. It is. Mike Ball says, absolutely, we love 304s. I like them a little bigger than that. I like 3004s. But, you know, it's just me. Motobomb Virginia dropping the links. We got a link to Desert Outlaw, who puts out so much content that none of us have a chance to watch it. Motobomb Virginia dropped Mike Ball's link, who drops so much content. He brings us the news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Motobomb Virginia dropped the link to America Uncensored, who brings us the news 27 hours a day, 14 days a week. Motobomb Virginia, haven't seen SNS for SNS. Mike Ball would know. I think he's in the Discord. Mike Ball dropping all the emoticons. Motobomb Virginia, or Tolga, or Evil Rick, most of the cool mods. Tolga's around, he's busy. Evil Rick, we got ourselves a warning on my phone. I've been assigned a load. We got to look at it. We got to look at it together. We're going to look at a load together. I'm going to jack off in my hand and you're going to see my load. It's important. It's important as adults to always run with a theme song every day. Next load. What's the date? Today's the 25th. Somebody let me know what the date is. Today's the 25th, right? 6:25. Thank you, Lady J. Next load is Del Monte. 6:26 at 2 in the afternoon. So tomorrow. And it's going to Forest Park, Georgia. It's going Del Monte in Forest Park, Georgia. So we're hauling fresh. Yes, 25th. Thank you, guys. Lizzie Wallace. Good to see you in here. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I'm going to confirm this trip. So I get the night off, which means Mike Ball, thank you for buying me a steak. I would like, just saying. Let's see. So the next trip is in Palmetto, Florida. If any of you have the internet nearby, I know some of you do. Tell me how far Palmetto, Florida is from Miami. I think it's 30 miles north. Could you do that? Lizzie Wallace, you okay? Let's put it to a poll. La la la. Do do do. There, that's better. Do 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 do. Uh-oh. My phone says battery low. I'm not ready to hang up my phone yet. I gotta plug it in. Plugging in my phone. Look at me. Where's the plug-in on this phone? Palmetto, Florida to Miami, Florida is 3 hours. It's 240. Where the fuck is Palmetto? Are you serious? Palmetto's that far? Palmetto is in northern Florida? Lizzie Wallace says, you get girlfriend or wife? Both. I just put on a dress and masturbate vigorously. I don't need a woman in my life. I just wear a dress and makeup. It's under Tampa. Palmetto's under. That's right. It's not. Is it near? Is it closer to Tampa than Mike Ball? Is it closer to Tampa than Orlando? I don't want to deal with Orlando. Orlando hurts my feelings. Orlando makes me want to put on a dress and aggressive makeup and walk around the truck stops at night trying to make friends. Desert Outlaw says, like, literally under Tampa. So I get to hang out. I get to hang out near Forgotten Angels. Okay, so if my hours work out all right, and I'd much rather drive at night, I'll get to the comments here in a second. I get to have the steak that Mike Ball paid for. I can have the steak. I'm going to sleep there. I'll go ahead and pay for a parking spot. I think it's $20 a night at the 595 truck stop. If there's a parking spot, there better be a parking spot. I want a fucking steak. It's payday. It's Thursday night. I need a steak. Oh yeah, Mike Ball. I didn't pay for it alone. Oh, I'm such an asshole. Mike Ball paid $20 for my steak.
Who else was in on that? Motobomb, Adam Bennett. There was another super chat from So Loud. Weekend at Benner's says, Toodles, everybody. Well, if everyone's putting into the pot, I need to pay for parking too. I need a Lamborghini. I need to pay for parking. I need a steak dinner. What else do I need? My fridge is empty. I need a Walmart trip. What else I got over here? Oh, I need a new friggin' thing for my phone. You know, what else do you need, Sterling? While you're over here e-begging, what else do you need? I could use some more GoPros. Could you give me some more GoPros? I could use some more pens. I like my, you know why I like these pens. I ain't gonna explain it to you. No, we're good on money. Don't worry about it. I am going to sit here in the front of the truck so I can charge my phone. If any of you have the internet nearby, Google Map for me. 1705 Piney Point, Palmetto, Florida. 1705 Piney Point. And meet me there between tonight and Tuesday, and you can have some hot, dirty girlfriend action. Because Lizzie Wallace is really thirsty. You can, my girlfriend, want to. Desert Outlaw says, Sterling says, yes, Lizzie. I'm taken. I already told you, I got dresses and makeup, and I don't need no woman. I'm a feminist. I don't need anybody. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. Am I okay? A lot of you are voting incorrectly. We are lost in comments. The car guy. Mike Ball says Al Patterson must have found me from you or something. He did. The car guy, save the date on November 1st, 2026. Abraham Lincoln, the former president, will arise from the grave and give his New America speech on the White House lawn to propose a brand new America. Prepare. That's interesting. We don't need a Lincoln, though. If I saw Lincoln come out of the grave, I would shoot him in the head. And, you know, who shot him? Was it Raymond Burr? I'd shoot him in the head. I'd be like, hashtag Raymond Burr 6'7". Desert Outlaw, always good seeing here. Lady J. Motobomb, the fan funding is looking good, y'all. Yeah, we're doing good. We'll get a steak tonight. It won't be Outback Steakhouse. Fuck Outback Steakhouse. I will proudly wear my Freightliner hat in a Kenworth because fuck Outback Steakhouse. Insane Wheel says is laughing out loud. Try harder. That car guy says that's what up. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln's coming back. Weekend at Benner's. Found him over from Smokey. He was hanging out in Smokey's shop. I want my papers! Okay, ride back from dropping off truck in Arkansas is complete. Hope you get your papers. Let me make some calls. Yeah, start making some calls. I need my papers. Lady Jace is 625. Today is 625. Tomorrow 626. By 1400, I need to pick up a load. I need to pick up a thick, juicy load. Actually, I don't. It's spot. So I can get there anytime. The latest I can pick it up is tomorrow at 1400. A lot of the freight that I haul is preloaded, so I don't have to sit around and do shit that I'm doing. I fucking hate sitting there. But it's fine. We're making our money. Lizzie Wallace, good seeing you here. Motobomb Virginia, always my friends. Once in a while I earn my keep here on the Sterling Wheel channel. You are always welcome. Today's 25th. Motobomb says northern Minnesota, looking beautiful, by the way. Desert Outlaw says I've got a 3-hour, 248 mile. I still can't believe it. Palmetto is in Midwestern Florida. Lizzie Wallace says you get girlfriend or wife. They're all dead to me now. Lady J says Palmetto, Florida to Miami, Florida is 245 miles, 3 hours and 55 minutes. I could beat that. I could do it in 2 hours and 53 minutes. Under Tampa. Mike Ball's laughing. Motobomb Virginia says, I watch too many trucking videos. Just how dangerous would you rate the job, Sterling Wheel? Statistically, it is the 8th most dangerous job. But in reality, it's probably the 3rd most dangerous job. I have close calls 3 to 5 times a week, and 3 of those are would be a fatality towards me if I didn't act accordingly. Trucking is still dangerous, yeah. Desert Outlaw says Palmetto, Florida is literally under Tampa. Rob's neighbor Carrie says good stuff. Yeah, sometimes I get easily derailed. If you think squirrels are bad, let's talk about cross-dressing. Lady J says, yes, spring, summer, fall, stunning in Minnesota, Motobomb, but the other 6 months that make you want to cry every day. I like snow. I want to make snowmen. I want to make gigantic, anatomically correct snowmen at random. I want an old pickup truck that's got a snowplow blade on it, and I want to make snowmen at random in the forest. All my snowmen must have raging boners. Yep. Desert Outlaw, you'll be near water. I'm always near water. Pretty princess. Ooh. We don't like pretty princesses around here. I like ugly princesses. Always good seeing here. Mike Ball reminding me that my dinner tonight, my steak dinner tonight, is paid for not only by members of my channel, mostly members of my channel, but the super chats that we got today. I can't thank you enough. Rob's neighbor, Carrie, says, what's up, Motobomb, Virginia? Weekend of Benners. Says, toodles, everybody. Lizzie Wallace says, you can, my girlfriend, want to. Money me now. Desert Outlaw. Sterling says, yes, Lizzie. Carrie, what's up, Carrie, says Mike Ball. Motobomb, I grew up there till I joined the Army, left Minnesota in 82. It's a beautiful state, loved winter and snowmobiling. American Uncensored is saying, get that like button or else Sterling will be sending you past your spell to have a word with you. That's right. We got 24 likes. There's 15 people watching. Got $60 in super chats, which is going to pay for my dinner tonight. And I will sacrifice said dinner to Mike Ball. I will light a pentagram on the table for Mike Ball and make sure he gets the pictures for his Instagram. I see somebody on a golf cart, someone on a golf cart driving to my truck, and he drove right past my truck. Sick burn. I'm never getting out of here. Mr. Frederick, hello from Sweden. It's the 3rd time I've seen you on my channel. You will get standard moderator privileges. Thank you for sticking around, Sterling Wheel. Scenario, when did you transition to male? When your mom told me to. Yeah. Your mom was getting really sick of the heavy-handed lesbian petting. And your mom was like, Sterling, you need to transition out of this bedroom. And I was like, fine, I'll just become a truck driver. Dewana says, hi, Sterling. Always good seeing you here, Dewana. Mikey Ball, that location is 10 hours, 8 minutes away from me. Which one? The Palmetto, my pickup or my delivery? The delivery's in Forest Park, Georgia, so I'll be 6 hours away from you. Mike Ball's laughing out loud. Lizzie Wallace says, yes to you. You're going to have to fight over me. 50-50. Am I okay? Somebody break the tie. I need to be... Someone put no. I can't be okay. I can't be equally bad and okay. Somebody break the vote. We got to fix that. Come on. Right there. 50-50 is bad luck. We got 14 persons. There we go. Thank you. 24 likes, and I am not okay. No has finally won out. Lady J says, you know all about it. Enjoy the winter quiet. Love my wood stove. Cozy and finally feel warm. Darkness gets to me. Good friends help. Desert Outlaw says, have you ever been to Rwanda, Lizzie? Rwanda. Have you ever been to Serbia? Have you ever been to Mogadishu? Motobomb says, I get that cabin fever, they call it. Glad to meet you. I'm glad you kids are meeting each other, and I'm not okay. Am I okay? The answer is no. Lizzie Wallace is saying desert. What? Lady J says winter is about to get very interesting in Minnesota. Yeah, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make anatomically correct snowmen. And they're not going to be snow women, okay? Nobody wants vaginas on their snowmen. They're going to hold American flags and they're going to stand erect in the forest. And when people drive by, they'll be like, damn, that is a fine looking snowman holding an American flag erect. And then people are going to be like, I'm glad I voted for Trump. And then everyone will hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Motobomb, Virginia. Sterling Wheel. Seems like a great job, but I don't think many know how crazy it is. Glad you're safe. More safety prayers for you. I could use it. It's coming down into Miami this morning was a wide awakening for the dangers of truck driving. Oh, it was terrible. People see trucks and they're just like, I'm gonna try to get killed. That's not the language of Miami. It's more like, ooh, puppy, the semi truck gonna kill me. That was kind of Haitian, but I'm gonna roll with it. Brent in the house says, what up? Chasing Ghost says, MT need water too, hot as fuck, rusty binders. Oh man. Lizzie Wallace, Desert Outlaw, please my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, Desert Outlaw single. I think he's got a motor scooter and he lives in Florida and he's got a really cool life. He goes surfing every day. Yeah, let's get Desert Outlaw hooked up. His name's Desert Outlaw because he moved from Miami, Arizona to Miami, Florida. The sweet Dewana Gilliam has made sure that steak dinner I have tonight might even have a little extra. I might even get some dessert. Hey Sterling, are you waiting to get loaded or unloaded? Waiting to get unloaded. It's very rare that this happens with the job that I'm in. And so far I've gotten paid, what? Like 3 hours, something like that. But yeah, we're waiting to get unloaded. They don't allow us to stay connected to the trailer here, so the trailer's hooked into the dock. And I'm parked in front of it, waiting for a thunderstorm to blow over and cool this crap off. It is 105 degrees. It feels like 110 because of the humidity. The air conditioning in the truck is barely keeping up with it because I've got the APU running in the back. I should be laying in back. But we're doing good. I see a man on a friggin' golf cart. I want my papers. I want to get released. Lizzie Wallace says yes. Chasing Ghost says, shitty truck stop in Forest Park, Georgia. You going to the farmer's market? We are going to Del Monte Fresh. We're taking it from Del Monte to Del Monte. And it's a drop and hook on both ends. Lady J, Sterling, what is the funniest thing you have seen on the road? 2017, middle of summer in Nevada. I pulled off the side of the road because I needed to handle my business. And a Lexus SUV pulled in front of me and stopped. And the female passenger got out of the passenger door, opened the passenger door, left it open, and then opened the rear door to give herself some privacy. And she waved at me. And then she turned around, squatted on the ground, and dropped a deuce bigger than this water bottle. Same girth, probably the same weight. But when you open the rear passenger door on a car, the rear passenger door on a car has a cutout for the rear tire. So the door was open, and then her butt cheeks were in full view, and I saw the biggest mud sausage I had ever seen in my life. And it questioned. I questioned, like, I had to call my wife at the time and be like, now I understand why you clogged the toilet. So yeah, that was the shittiest thing I've ever seen. Oh, you said funniest. Well, funniest, shittiest, it's all the same. Motobomb, Virginia. Have you heard of Sand Lake? I know only 10,000 plus is big into the northern area. My mom owned Ghost Bay Resort right up there for years. We're in the Land O'Lakes area. Lizzie Wallace says, what old you? I am 460 years old. Motobomb saying hi to Tara. Desert Outlaw says, my girl would not like that. You're young enough. You need to have another girlfriend. You need to have 2 girlfriends, my friend. Come on, you're Desert Outlaw. You're only like 25 years old. Yeah, the world is your oyster, my friends. You need to hook up with Lizzie Wallace and get down. Get down. Right? Cheers to Desert Outlaw for hooking up with Strange Wool. I didn't know the Church of Wheel. This isn't the Church of Wheel, by the way. Check out my live shows. The Church of Wheel, where I do this in proper form rather than just yelling at a camera. Check out the Church of Wheel. I got to pull this blind. They'll knock on the door when they got my papers. Oh, it's dry and hot in here. I don't like it. Am I okay? 56% of you say no. We're going to lock in these results. We're going to lock in those results. Lady J says, Sand Lake is an hour and a half from me. Never been. So many lakes. Lizzie Wallace says, you can sing hotel with me, please. There's not enough super chats in here for a hotel. So if you drop $250, I will give you Desert Outlaw's phone number. Lady J says, Motobomb, resorts are hard work. Best ones are being sold off now as boomers retire. That's 2. Dewana says, oh geez, that's not fun having to wait. It is fun. I'm sitting here on a live with you. We're hanging out. We got some really good donations for some good people, which guarantees me a steak dinner tonight. It's good. We're all good. I'm sweat. It's a little bit too hot. I really need to be in the back of the truck with the air conditioning as is. Or I could just start up the truck. I don't want to start the truck because then I'm going to sit here and sweat for you. 12 people watching, 26 likes. We need some more likes. Ah! I don't want it there. There, that's better. Make sure you give a like. Desert Outlaw at Lizzie Wallace. You can cook my kids' dinner and mow my yard. That's cool. He can cook his kids dinner and mow his yard. That's a sign of a good woman. That's a good woman that'll mow your yard and not talk back. Lady J says you need papers from the mail. You need papers from the mail. Be like, I need some papers. I just want my papers. Please. I want to be American again. Dewana's laughing out loud. Lady J says, laughing out loud, mud sausage. I don't know what you're talking about. Insane Wheels. Mud sausage, just fucking crazy work. Fudge Logger. Lizzie Wallace, Desert Outlaw. Yes, can your kids' dinner? Wow, we got Desert Outlaw hooked up. It better not be Chef Boyardee. Listen, Desert Outlaw deserves much better than Chef Boyardee. Hold. I'm going to show you exactly the kind of dinner that Desert Outlaw deserves. And if you do not cook him this dinner, I will not sign off on this engagement. Chunky Old Bay clam chowder with 4 pounds of salt. This is the only thing that sustains Desert Outlaw. The only reason I'm his friend is because I possess one of these cans. This is what you have to prepare that man 3 times a day. And if you can do it by scratch, then he might, he might just ditch his girlfriend. I'm just saying. Oh, I want to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. The wonderfulest wiener of all. Chasing Ghost says, hi, Motobomb. Desert Outlaw says, I wish I was 25. I'm 30. You're close enough. Motobomb saying hi to Tara. Lizzie Wallace is 37. Ooh, 37 was a good year for me. I was a homeowner. I was a business owner. I was a man about town. I had riches and bitches and fishing boats and guitars. Yeah, that was the life. 37's a good year. Wrong. That was the year I got divorced. Scratch everything I just said. Desert Outlaw says, I finally hit the age where my ween works or it doesn't. Stop smoking pot so much. Fuck. No. Dude, you're 30 years old and that's questionable? Stop smoking. The new pot is fucking you kids up. You need to stop smoking pot for 3 weeks. If you're having those issues, no, I deny this. Wrong. Lizzie Wallace, I'm going to give you his phone number. My boy needs some help. Okay? Stop smoking so much weed. It's killing you. Lady J says, I'm old enough to know better and young enough to do it well with Ibert. Oh, that should be on a t-shirt. Desert Outlaw says, Lady J, that's what I'm talking about. Andrea sent a gift. Chasing Ghost says, always remember to turn the PTO off before leaving the job site. Why? You don't want it to make horrible noises or leave fluids after a horrible noise? Motobomb Virginia says, Desert Outlaw, pro tip. Not if he's worried about his thing. You know? If he thinks he's approaching the age that he doesn't wake up with morning wood stiff enough to cut a window. Huh? Cut glass? I worry about my friends. Stop smoking so much pot. Chasing Ghost says, also unlock axles. Yes. Is it still raining in Texas? You had to lock the axles? Andrea says, you want to see something in a minute? Sure. Desert Outlaw says, win for Sterling for raising my standards of eating. Yeah, I gotta take care of you, man. Listen, you smoke too much pot. You got crazy women on the internet. You've got a girlfriend. Do you still have your motorcycle? Last I heard, you had a scooter. You're living in Florida. Oh, you're living in Florida. No wonder you can't get a boner. Florida is way too hot for a boner. You want to see? You want to see proof? You got to go to my OnlyFans channel, see how hot weather gets to me. Andrea says, yo, nice semi-truck. It's the best semi-truck ever. Lady J says spaghetti. No, that's spaghetti nose. Not allowed. There's no spaghetti nose on my truck. Oh, it's beefaroni, by the way. Desert Outlaw says, that is actually true. Everything I say is true. Lizzie Wallace is laughing. Motobomb Virginia says, man, that chowder looks thick. Mike Ball's laughing out loud. Andrea says, do you want to see something here in a minute? Ooh, I've got a tease. Is that all the stars that you dropped? We got 3 little jewels up there. Lizzie Wallace, I'm 38 next year. Good times. Well, I hope so. Tony Cranley says, fuck! Andrea Madrial, you want to know something here in a minute? Yes. Desert Outlaw says, laughing out loud, I was joking. Mike Ball is reiterating. 32-year-old Michael Ball, Mike Harold Thomas Ball, don't blame counterclockwise tobacco. Listen, you need to stop smoking weed so your boners stay thicker and harder. This is Uncle Sterling telling you. This is Uncle Sterling saying, hey, lay off the weed so you can procreate. Listen, we're heading into World War III. People are going to die. We need to procreate. You need to get some procreation going on. Because, listen, not all men can get pregnant. I hate to break this to you. Statistically, I almost want to cry. Statistically, not all men can get pregnant. And it's so sad. Oh my God. Oh shit. Let's get rid of the likes. We don't need any more likes. Make sure you like what I'm doing here. Hey, isn't it a coincidence that I'm making this question black? Ah! Let me put that up there. There. But yeah, Mike Ball's reminding me not to blame counterclockwise tobacco for inefficiencies in bonerdom. For the lack of boners, we can't blame weed. We can't blame the wacky tobacco. We've got a poll, a black poll. Men get pregnant. We want truthful answers around here. Anthony Carr says, smash. Lizzie Wallace saying, okay. Andrea sent a star. I do drugs. Send a star. Send 100. I do drugs. Lizzie Wallace says, you said your number. Mike Ball says, I'm 31. Fuck! Mike Ball's 31. Desert Outlaw says, Sterling, you come here and you smoke. No. We are not smoking. We've got some interesting answers to our little pole, our black pole, our big, thick black pole. Men get pregnant. It wasn't a question. 20% of you say yes. 67% of you now are saying no. Desert Outlaw, we can't be smoking, my friend. I got a water bong. We just stick to our waters, our organic water bongs. I don't think this trailer's ever going to get loaded. I've been live for 2 hours. And life is a highway. I want to drive it all night long. I actually like driving at night because there's less traffic to deal with. Cheap Freight Hauler says, hey, Uncle Sterling, checking in from Tennessee. Did you see that Dolly Parton took over the Tennessean and they're turning it into a buck season, kicking the truck drivers out? Fuck you, Dolly Parton. I used to love you. Now I have nothing to do with you because you're kicking the truck drivers out of your goddamn truck stop. Oh, much anger. The biggest thing that pisses me off about trucking is I'm watching the decline of America. We don't have good restaurants. We can't find good food. There's never any good parking. Half the other truck drivers out here are very unqualified and unprofessional and barely trained. And fifth thing is my phone reception died for a second. We're back at it. Lizzie's in the house. Depends on which side of the aisle you stand on. Desert Outlaw says, I got pregnant once. Ray Gregory writes, a man could get pregnant if somebody shoved an egg up his ass. Desert Outlaw, you've been reading my diary, Ray Gregory writes. Chasing Ghost says, they gave me back my coloring book, but still can't keep it inside the lines. Lady J says, but Dolly has the bits. The problem with Dolly Parton, it's the same problem that I have with Pamela Anderson, not recently, is she's a female impersonator. Like Dolly Parton's female enough. Marilyn Monroe, she was female enough, but they overemphasize and they become female impersonators. I've never been a fan of like a lot of makeup and crazy hair and all sorts of crazy stuff. I've always been a fan of tom girls. Motobomb Virginia, have you tried to buy a tampon out of the men's bathroom yet? Yes. Yeah, I wanted to check the freshness. Because I mean, stuff like that does have an expiration. And I bought some tampons out of the men's bathroom, and I checked the expiration, and they were expired. And I brought that up to management, and I said, I need to speak to the manager right now. And I pulled that tampon out, and I set it down on the table. I said, listen, I need to talk to a manager right now, or I'm going to call the police. And they're like, sir, what's wrong, sir? Do you need a free coffee, or is everything okay? Is there something wrong with the bathroom? Do you need a shower? What's going on? I set that tampon down. I said, listen, I need to talk to a fucking manager. And eventually the manager came up, and I was like, listen, this tampon is expired. It is a health emergency that this tampon in the men's bathroom was expired. I expect more from my truck stops. And I threw the tampon. And because it was expired, it stuck in the wall behind the manager. That could have killed somebody. Motobomb Virginia is saying hi to Ray. Mike Ball says that only happens in the north. The furthest south that I've seen a tampon in a men's bathroom is Colorado. So whatever, is that the 30th parallel? 40th parallel? That'd be the 20th parallel. Everything above that, they got tampons in the men's bathroom. Cheap Freight Hauler says, I've given birth to a record shit before. I miss the scales in the truckers' restrooms, because you could weigh yourself before for 25 cents for the joy of taking a quarter out of your ashtray. Thank you for the super chats today, by the way. You kept me in quarters. For the joy of 1 quarter, no, 2 quarters, because you got to weigh before and after. You step on the scale in the bathroom and you say, first weigh, and you drop in a quarter. Go take your massive shit, and then come back and go second weigh, drop your quarter, and you find out how much your poop weighs. We're not allowed to do. Listen, we don't have arcades in the truck stops anymore. So that used to be a lot of fun, where you guess the weight of your poop. Adam Bennett and I used to do that all the time. And we'd call each other on the phone and be like, hey, you got to guess my poop, brother. And Adam Bennett would be like, all right, I guess 7.5 pounds. And I'd be like, I'll raise your 7.5 pound and go 8 1/4. And I know a lot of you think I'm full of shit, but Adam Bennett always won. Desert Outlaw, colonoscopies are okay as long as both hands aren't on your shoulder. Salty Badger 2023. I remember him saying that. Salty's doing all right. He's got a memorial ride benefiting PTSD coming up pretty soon. I'm going to drop... actually, Moto, I'm going to send you the flyer to that, and you can drop it on your live tomorrow. I'll put a post on my channel as well. But Salty Badger's trying to raise support for veterans with PTSD. They're going on a fantastic little ride in Michigan. A bit of a poker run. And he asked me to help promote that, and I've kind of been slacking off on that. Ray Gregory says, what up, Moto? Just got home. Roach Weiser says, big hair in the 80s hit different, though. Big. Yes. In many ways, big hair in the 80s hit very different. And we're not talking about, pre-hole in the ozone layer and the girls were spraying the hairspray and all that stuff. We're talking hair down there. Yeah, that's what, like this. Although Christy Canyon never had gray hairs in her pubes. Motobomb Virginia says, hell yeah, Ray. Lady J also agrees that 80s porn was the best. Big hair in the 80s was epic. Roach Weiser says it was glorious. It was glorious. Lady J says, I mean, who shot JR? Did we ever find out? We'll have to, I think they invented the internet since JR got shot. So there's probably an answer to that. It's too hot in here. I'm going to have to stop the live show and enjoy air conditioning in the back of the truck. Nah, I'll just start the truck when the live show's over. According to the internet, men get pregnant. 27% of men are capable of getting pregnant. Like I told you earlier, very few men can get pregnant, and we need to raise those numbers. Okay? 73% of men are not allowed to get pregnant, and I don't like those numbers. We need to improve those numbers. Lizzie Wallace says, you stopped smoking, not good for you. I quit smoking in 1999. Cheap Freight Hauler says, the Bush is making a comeback. Good. Roach Weiser, Christian Shepherd, J.R. Earwing's sister-in-law, former mistress, shot J.R. in the hit television series. Somebody's got the internet. Are you on America Online? Are you using Netscape? Did you find that on DuckDuckGo? Where'd you get your answers? Cite where you found your answers. It's all right. I'm not holding you to any standard. You don't have to say a damn thing because we got the answer. Ray Gregory says, I guarantee you ain't nobody sticking nothing up my ass. What about if your doctor said, I'm going to save your life by giving you CPR with a garden hose? What's your answer to that? Men get pregnant. 27% of you said no. I'm very disappointed with that. We're going to close that poll. Cheap Freight Hauler says, hold on, waiting for my 56K to dial up. That's so funny. According to the poll, to the big black poll, men get pregnant. 73% of the entire world said no. 27% of the world said yes. And 11 billion people voted. Lady J says, we finally know. I must have missed that episode. Dallas had all the ladies in glitter dresses, large shoulder pads and hair, fighting and falling into fountains and pools. Soap operas. Ray Gregory Ride says, see you on the other side. Was that a Doors song? That was Break On Through to the Other Side. Lizzie Wallace says, people stop smoking. It's not good for you. Actually, smoking is very good for you. It's vaping that'll kill you. Everyone in here needs to smoke cigarette. I'm watching my view numbers dwindle down. Ray Gregory Wright says the 27% would probably hold one in the mouth. Yes. That's funny. We got the famous Chewbacca. How do men get pregnant? Carefully. You have to be very careful if you want your men to get pregnant. It doesn't go as easy as women. It really doesn't. Yeah. We got Kenyo says, yo, hi. Good seeing you. How you doing? Welcome to the world of trucking. And only 73% of men can get pregnant. Chasing Ghost says later, gotta throw a tarp. Ugh, tarping is gross. And it's hotter where you're at than I am. Motobomb Virginia just ate free lunch from the boss. Pork, smoked ribs, pulled pork and beans, slaw, mac and cheese, and jalapenos. That actually sounds really good. That actually sounds really good. Oh my God. I'm hoping I need my papers! According to this paper, I can make a phone call and be like, hey, I need a friggin' phone call. Unless somebody did try to call while I was on live. No, nobody's called me. Lady J saying later to Tara. Motobomb Virginia was said sounds bomb by Mike Ball. Lady J says that lunch sounds very good. That does sound very good. Motobomb Virginia says, oh, and kale. You throw that plate with all your food across the room. That's a Yankee thing. Kale. I'm putting this to a vote. I can't. No. No, you don't. If there's kale on your plate, you grab the entire plate, even if it has scrumptious amounts of barbecue and mac and cheese and an apple fritter. You throw that plate across the room and you say, be gone, vile plate. Kale? That's a Yankee thing. Lizzie Wallace, I like you. You're funny looking. Mikey Paul says, laughing out loud. Desert Outlaw. It sounds good. Not with the kale. Lady J agrees with me. That kale has got to go. Motobomb Virginia says he's got picks. No kale. Desert Outlaw. No. Mike Ball says, I like dried kale if it's flavored. Somebody's a pothead. Cheap Freight Hauler. I quit smoking in February. Haven't felt this good in 20 years. Congratulations. Wow. Mike Ball says no kale. That's amazing. That's amazing, Scott. Good times. Motobomb Virginia. Dry kale is awesome with nutritional yeast. Motobomb. Between the urge to vomit and the massive amount of disappointment I have in you, yeah, kale was a gigantic fail. Lady J agrees. Mike Ball kind of agrees. Yes, it does, Moto. It's a superfood. No. You take your kale and use it for toilet paper. Lizzie Wallace says, man cannot get pregnant. Lady is pregnant. It's not in today's world. We got Lady J in the house. Motobomb's in the house says, Insane Wheels, indeed, addictive to eat. No, the kale's got to go. Look, pay attention. Kale, 17% of the people on this world are wrong. 83% of the people in this world are right. The answer is no to kale. Lady J says yeast. No. Lizzie Wallace says, you said your number? Yeah, right there. We got 10 people watching. 30 people have given a like. Been live for 2 hours and 17 minutes. We've got a $64.96 towards debauchery. We're going to have steak dinner tonight, thanks to all my friends on the channel. Motobomb. The nutritional yeast makes it taste just like nacho cheese. No. I'm closing the poll and then I'm quitting my live stream. I need to vomit in peace. And I need to make a call, find out why I ain't got no papers. Lady J says they got some voodoo magic working with that nutritional yeast. Kale, the vote is in. 86% no. 14% no. Because it's double no on my channel. Cheap Freight Hauler, collard green. No. There's not enough butter in the world to make collard greens taste good. No. You wonder why I'm morbidly deep fried okra. No. Lady J says, just eat the butter. Desert Outlaw says fried. Fried collard greens, yeah. Thomas Smith is the last comment that I feel like answering. Hi, do you want to know a cool fact? What's that? Mike Ball says collard greens is barf. Cheap Freight Hauler, boiled cabbage is okay, but you got to add stuff to it. Boiled cabbage will give you rancid gas. Rancid projectile gas. Desert Outlaw, cabbage soup was good with beef. Yeah, corned beef. Thomas Smith says, did you know the May 31st, 2013 El Reno tornado was 2.6 miles wide? Yes, it was, and I was in the vicinity when that happened. I bought a banjo from a pawn shop there. And the pawn shop got hit by that tornado and destroyed. It was right next to an old Model T parts distributor. The Model T shop didn't get destroyed, but the pawn shop did. And the reason I was returning to the pawn shop is because the banjo they sold me was all warped and broken. So thanks for that fact, by the way. That brought back some memories. So I've seen El Reno before and after the tornado. Lizzie Wallace says, you can stay in a hotel with me, please. No, I bring my own hotel. Lady J says, cabbage is good for you, though. It is. Desert Outlaw saying, what state? To Lizzie Wallace. Cheap Freight Hauler, I am a man about town. Cheap Freight Hauler, collard greens, boiled cabbage, Taco Bell will all give you a free colon cleansing. It's true. Motobob Virginia says, I can eat most anything as long as it's not stinky like fishy except tuna. You sound like the kind of man that needs a male tampon. Lizzie Wallace is wondering what state Desert Outlaw lives in. He lives in the Bahamas. Thomas Smith, did you know I was 10 years old at that time? No, I didn't. I was 33. But yeah, I'm very familiar with that tornado. Lady J's laughing out loud. Mike Wallace laughing out loud. I need to make some phone calls and end this live show and continue with my life because I do not know what time it is and I need to find a parking spot that has access to steaks. Lots of steaks. Motobon Virginia says male tampons are hard to come by. You can find them. Desert Outlaws on the lookout. Cheap Freight Hauler is saying, fucking Cheap Freight Hauler. I talked about the famous bull 4 days ago, and everyone has been telling me, like, I hate you. I hate you, Sterling. And you need to find a combination Taco Bell, KFC. I'm at the KFC. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination KFC Taco Bell, where you will put Taco Bell gravy on your gorditas or your chalupas. I'm telling you, skip the famous bowl. Order your Taco Bell with KFC gravy. Cheap Freight Hauler is gonna try to test the boundaries of humanity. Mike Ball's laughing out loud. We are going to end the show. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. This has been good times. I hope you kids are doing okay, and we'll show you what happened outside the window. The entire time I was here, we were just like looking at the trailers, la 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 la, looking at the trailers, la 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 la, saying goodbye, goodbye.